Hi, it's me, Vamp. And let's look at the Fusilai. Let's call it Fusilai. Okay, so I guess we better compare it to. Well, I guess let's compare it to the Despair first. Because, the Despair was here way before it, so. Okay, the Despair doesn't have a secondary fire, so let's just ignore that in general. Okay, so I'll tell you what the secondary fire does. Speaking of, the secondary fire of the Fusilai weapon actually makes it so you throw all of them at once. Which, that's pretty cool. It's kind of, yeah. It's kind of like a fan fire for, kind of like the Pandora does, but instead you're throwing glass. Yes, glass. These are glass. I'll get into more about that in a little bit, but let's actually compare it to a few other things. Let's compare it to the pox. Okay, so the pox isn't a fair comparison. Let's find a fair comparison. Spira, that's a fair comparison, right? Yes. Okay, so the Spira has more critical chance with 25% versus 23. Very odd number, 23. Unfortunately, the critical multiplier of the Fusilai, whatever, could do with some work since it only had a 1.7 compared to the Spira 2.0, which is better. But this has a slightly higher fire rate, which is good. The Spira has more magazine size, which not really the best in the world, but whatever, right? It has a slightly faster reload speed. That's good. 0.2 seconds might not seem like a lot, but it is. The status. It's definitely a status weapon, the Fusilai, more than a crit weapon. It had 29%. Again, odd number, but whatever. The funny thing is, since it's only 29, I believe that means it goes up to 99% status, not 100%, but don't quote me on that. It triggered auto, of course. The Spira has more impact because that weapon actually has no impact. Didn't notice that. Puncher, the Spira has more puncher. Now its main thing is slash, which, the Fusilai of course has more of. In the end, the Fusilai has more of its main stat than the Spira does. That's to be expected since there is technically a Spira Prime, which the Fusilai still wins out on, in my opinion. So, yeah, that is actually very good. So, let's read the description, I guess. Slightly other enemies with... Okay, silently incinerate. Okay, enemies with signature glass throwing knives. We said we would get back into the glass, and here it is. I believe it's accents. Accents decide the color, I believe. Let's see if that's correct. Yeah, accents decide the color per se. Nicola, let's just copy Warframe color for now. Okay, that doesn't look too bad, right? Not too shabby. Let's get into the stuff, shall we? This is the build I've been running most of the time. I was running this through the, regular missions while I was leveling this up. I actually fought in Eidolon while using this, believe it or not. Not that bad, honestly. I, of course, expect... Okay, this radiation wasn't here when I was leveling it up. I believe I just had MAME, and that was about it. But to fight in Eidolon, I changed it to this radiation, and... yeah, it actually worked a lot better than I thought it would, honestly. But yeah, this is everything without any mods. As you can see, it has a V polarity to begin with. So, I mean, this weapon, I would definitely say it's probably worth leveling up if you can. I mean, there's really no harm. Let's actually look at the price point, what we're talking about. Okay, so if you want this weapon, it will cost you either 190 platinum, which if you pay the 190 platinum, it will, you'll also get the inventory slot and the catalyst installed automatically, and you can forego the Mastery Rank 5 requirement. You can buy the blueprint if you want. There's that nighttime extract again. Although, most people should have at least 2 by now. If you're a brand new player, you might not have at least 2, in which case, alerts. Alerts are how you get nighttime extract. They randomly pop up that 4 throughout the day. So yeah, that's how you get that. And you know, it seemed fairly cheap. That covered resources and stuff. I think the most expensive, the rarest thing on this thing would probably be the nighttime extract. The most expensive thing on this would probably be polymer bundle. I mean, you're looking at 40k credits altogether. Overall, not that bad. Or, if you really want, you can buy the Hongara collection, which includes this weapon, as well as the Astilla, and Baneus with Gara's helmet, as well as Garrett's Sandana. So yeah, all for 825 plat. So I guess it's up to whatever tickles your fancy. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed that review. Hopefully you enjoyed this weapon. Feel free to tell me what you think of this weapon. If you choose to get, if you're like, nah, I'm not gonna get. If you choose to, you know, decide later on you want it, and it will be here. There's no rush. Keep that in mind. If you're out of inventory slots right now, and you don't want to spend platinum, you can always buy the blueprint, build it whenever you want. No rush. But currently, I feel like it's the best, of the Haku. It's the best throwing type weapon in the game so far. First of all, I like the visual of... I just like the idea of being able to just throw glass at people. It just sounds so crazy and fun, and it's not bad at all throwing glass at people in this game. It's a lot more fun than you would think. Okay, so enough of me being crazy. Oh, and also this weapon, since it's the type of weapon it is, concealed explosives can go on it. In case you don't know, concealed explosives is basically Thunderbolt for pistols, but not for every pistol. It only works on haiku type weapon. It only works on throwing knives type weapons. And kunai, that's what I'm looking for, kunai. Kunai type weapon. The kunai archetype, it doesn't tell you that unconcealed explosive, but that's what it is. But anyway, enough of that. That was this weapon. Tell me what you think of the Fusilai. And I'll catch you in a future video. Later.